Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu pakhair ragale ni hao chune shumme washmale ohaya gazaimis guten morgen and hi hugs and hellos to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and the watching world this morning alongside Shazad Khan and Maha Makhdoom. Hello Maha, how are you? A very good morning.
Good morning, Shazad. Hello back to you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I am good today. I am excited about the week starting. It is a very busy week. So
Yeah, it is going to be a very busy week. So we do have recordings today scheduled as well. So, everybody,
we hit the ground running on a Monday. So that's always a good thing.
I mean, you should always be running whatever weekday it is. I mean, other than the weekend, that's what it is. But ladies and gentlemen, time to rise and shine, wake and bake, get up.
But let me ask you, Shazad.
Yeah, go ahead.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was superb.
Let's have a catch up with those.
My weekend was superb. So what happened was that on Friday, I actually, we were at the Lok Mela as well. So, we guys enjoyed. Well, you were with me too.
Oh, yes, I was. I mean, I think in the evening you went.
So we guys enjoyed, but didn't really get any time to go in the evening as well. But on Saturdays, obviously family came up and, all of that.
Oh, yeah, we know the
regular
usual.
drill. That's what it is. Nothing very special, but it was fun to be with all my young nieces and nephews and everybody else because they give you quite a lot of brilliant ideas.
Oh, excellent. That's good. And I hope you guys were able to check out the Lok Versa Mela, which was a really wonderful display of the provincial heritage that we have, the culture, the arts and crafts. I bought so many things.
Really? You already did that?
It was really amazing, and I will be sharing it on my Facebook page as well. And I'll share it on the World This Morning Facebook page as well, so you can see just, there were bargains. There were, handcrafted tables for not a lot of money, and it was just amazing, and it made me really happy because...
And then there were handmade dolls as well, and then there was so much of
all
art
of the
and craft.
But
other than that, unfortunately, the Mela is not there now anymore because it was till the 16th, we kept on telling you. But there's a reason why I'm mentioning the Mela once again, and that is that, for all those material which you get from there, majority of the material, the stuff is actually being hand-knitted or made by kids. So kids these days are superb. So we will come back to that because this is what we are going to do our show on today as well. But let's move on with the top stories for this hour.
Absolutely, and I have the first one. So, so let's start with the news. So the submission of Hajj applications under the government scheme has begun today, and it will continue until the 26th of this month. The final draw will be held on the 28th of this month.
So for all those people who are willing to go for Hajj this year, please make sure that you fill in your application forms and submit that on time. That's what it is.
Yeah. And the next one is that the Senate and National Assembly will meet today at 4 p.m. in the Parliament House in Islamabad. And both houses will be discussing the important national issues besides the transacting legislative business. Wow. And I think there's some really important things that will be discussed today, especially after the few events of last week.
Exactly. That's what it is. So moving on, last but not the least, Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif says, use of brute Indian military might against innocent people of occupied Kashmir cannot suppress their human urge for freedom. Wow, that's a great statement by a, great Prime Minister of the country as well. That's what it is. But ladies and gentlemen, I think right now, since these were the top stories for this hour, which we picked up, time now for a public service message, and today the public service message is going to be by Maha Makhdoom as well. So Maha, tell me.
No, because I thought we were joking about that public service message. Oh, well, we are going to now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So basically, I felt like, a lot of us, as human beings, we make decisions, we carry out actions. And sometimes there are consequences for our actions. And, obviously, don't lie. We're not saying lie. But, this whole concept of honesty is the best policy. Now, sometimes if we've made a mistake or if we've done something wrong, sometimes we share information which is to ease our own guilt. Now, no one's saying lie. I'm saying think about, does this person need to know this information? Is it relevant to their life? And is it going to cause them pain, or is it actually, am I doing it for myself? What are my intentions behind it?
All right.
Obviously, if you've done something wrong, you need to own up to your mistakes. But I'm talking about just in a general, more, bigger context. Like maybe, Shazad, you've gone, you've stepped out longer than you had to, you know. So, do we think about what are, why do we do the things we do, basically? That's what I would like. That's my
there should always be a reason behind it. There should always be a motive behind it. And then
a good intention.
You're supposed to take an initiative. But other than that, Maha, I think whatever you were saying is very prevalent within the society these days as well. First of all, what people do is people do whatever they want to do. And then when they get to know, or probably when they realize that, okay, now this might have hurt somebody, or, somebody else might not feel about it, or it wasn't their first-hand right to do it. So I think the guilt generates automatically, and then just to get rid of the guilt, you just say it onto the face of the other guy who actually deserved it more than you. So please make sure that you do not take anybody else's spot. Make sure that you've worked hard. First deserve, then desire.
Just
That's
think
what
before
it is.
you do stuff. That's our public service message.
Yeah.
Think about the consequence, because there's no need to cause pain to anyone. And the life is tough enough as it is, so we should look out for each other. So that's
Exactly.
our public service message. Look out for one another. And now we have a very interesting show for you today, and we've gone beyond youth, right? Because
Yeah.
this is like real youngsters, and it's a really interesting thing that happens yearly within Pakistan.
Yeah,
Should I go
and
on?
adding up to that, ladies and gentlemen, from kids from approximately more than 80 countries participate in such a competition, which is obviously one of a kind as well. And the age range is from 9 to 16 years old as well. There are 3 steps, or probably 3 different phases of this competition. But over here, what we have done is that we have got the kids who've actually won the national level, and then they are participating in the robotic competition. And the competition is actually being held by the first Lego League competition, and
Yes.
more than 80 countries are going to participate, and these young kids are going to go to Denmark
Exactly,
as well.
and to be precise, it's 88 countries a year, and it is, like Shazad said, it's the yearly international robotics competition. And so we have been very lucky. We've been joined by Miss Anika Yaqub. She is a coach for the first Lego League Challenge. Assalamu alaikum, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm honored.
Thank you. Besides Miss Anika Yaqub, we have been joined by Ahmed Shazad Khwaja. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Fine.
Good. Besides Ahmed, we've been joined by SM Bhatti. Assalamu alaikum. How are you today?
How are you, Bhatti Sahab? All good?
Besides SM, we've been joined by Mustafa Zahid. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
Thank you very much for coming over
And
here.
I'm going to take the first
Yeah,
question.
you should do that. I
So-
just wanted to congratulate them for their national win, and
Yes,
all the very
congratulations.
best for your future.
Yes, so we're going to find out what exactly it is that you want, and we've got some devices on our tables. So, Miss Anika, tell us, what is the first Lego League competition?
Well, first doesn't mean that it's happened for the first time. It's an acronym. It stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology.
Okay.
It's a 30-year-old international challenge which is rolled out every year in September, and the teams have about 4 to 5 months in which international competitions take place all over the world, first at the national, regional, and then international levels. So we were lucky enough to participate this year at the national level. 30 teams from all over Pakistan came and to Islamabad, and there were different prizes for different parts of the competition, and we were lucky to win one of them.
Tell us a bit more about the first Lego competition as well, because the people out there might not even be aware of the fact. I mean, obviously, parents who are actually financing their kids these days, who are a part of this competition, would actually know better about it. But what is it? Where, since you mentioned that the origin goes back 3 decades as well, so tell us about it.
Well, it started in America. It was a non-profit organization which started it. This is an amazing competition in a way that it's a very holistic concept. So definitely there's a robotics component to it. But apart from robotics, like you mentioned, the 3 segments, so the kids have to compete according to a theme, which is a yearly theme, which changes every year.
Yeah.
So this year the theme was, for example, animal allies. So the theme is always about a real world problem, which the children have to basically, talk about a problem which they have identified themselves, and they have to present a unique solution to that problem. So there's a project which they need to, first of all, find the problem, research it, take the help of experts, then give the solution to it. And then there's the robotics game, in which they have to...
Okay, but before we move on to that, let's bring the kids into the conversation. So, Emma, tell us, how did you get involved with first?
Well, I was given the duty of hardware specialist, so I participated in the robot game sector and I helped in that.
Okay, great.
So I made all the equipment kind of, and all the attachments for the missions and that the robot had to perform on the mat.
That's amazing. Okay, so now before we move on to Essen, how do you first of all, you said 30 schools participated from across. What are the the, what are the words? The requirements to get in, and
Well, actually,
how do we do this?
You have to register. There's a local chapter. It's called Star FLL. That is the international first Lego League competition. Has a regional partner.
Okay.
In Pakistan, it's called the Star FLL. So we contacted that. You have to register with that organization.
Okay.
And that's how you do
Okay,
it.
but other than that, let's move on to S. Bhatti over here. Bhatti sir, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, so how did you become a part of this project? And why, in the first place, you wanted to do it or be a part of it?
Well, I'm very interested in robotics as a whole.
All right.
And so I approached the school and we started this program, and we've been participating in this competition for 2 years.
Excellent.
We participated last year as well. So,
How did you get to know about this competition, that this competition takes place every year?
well, I was researching robotics actually for a project for school, and I accidentally stumbled on the web page for
Alright.
Star FL.
And
What
then
a great thing to stumble across. Excellent.
that's it? All right.
Excellent. Okay, Mustafa, tell us, how did you get involved?
Well, basically, since Essen already told us that it was their second year, last year the team was completely different and only like 2 members were willing to participate. Essen and another team member whose name is Turab, he isn't here today. But like anyways, so there were only 2 team members at the time. And then Ma'am Hadi approached our class and she asked several students if they wanted to get involved in this competition. Me and my friends, we decided that we should try this thing.
So you guys
And
already had Legos at home?
yes, I've played with lots of Legos.
Everyone has
Yeah,
Lego at home, even I have Lego at home.
that's what it is. I think it's a great marketing stunt too as well.
Okay.
Other than the challenge. But other than that, there's one more thing which I want
Okay.
to ask Maha. Very sorry for that. And there are 3 parts to
okay.
this competition. The
Right.
first one is the robotics, the other one
That
is
was
the
my
project,
question next.
and then the other one's the core values. I mean, I'm sorry, but I cannot understand this value aspect of the project as well.
That is where I personally felt as a parent and a coach that they were this part is the most unique part.
All right.
So what the challenge teaches the children through there is a certain set of core values which you have to follow within the team and externally.
All right.
So they are taught that it's basically not about competing with each other as much as your real enemy is the problem you're solving.
All right.
So it has to be teamwork throughout. It has to be gracious professionalism. It has to be cooperation, which is like competing and cooperating. So you are judged throughout. I mean, silently as well. They are monitoring you, the judges, on the day of the competition. How much help are you giving to the other teams? How are you interacting with each other? So this is something which is really missing in our, the way we, even professionals, work with each other.
Amazing
Okay,
that is.
great. And so now I'm going to ask you, what is,
Bhatti has it.
yes.
Bhatti, open up this chart. Let us see what is this chart all about, and then we'll move on to the robots as well, which you guys have made.
Well, I feel like
So,
we've
ma'am,
just,
are
I
you
feel
going
like
to
we've,
let us know what this is?
I do have a question.
All right,
guys.
sorry, but let's get checked out first. All right, so it's a long chart.
It's a really long shot. Great.
Animal allies. All right. And
Wonderful.
how does it work, and what's the purpose of this chart?
So let the boys have.
Yeah.
So let's start with Ahmed, and then we can move across.
So basically, this is the chart on which the robot game takes place.
Okay.
You compete with another team
Okay.
on this. So there are certain missions, right, that are placed on this chart that the robot has to perform. And if you complete them successfully, then you get certain points for each mission. So
All right, so make sure that you
Okay,
push
guys,
the
you
chart
need
a
to
bit ahead.
Keep it
Yeah,
straight.
it's fine now. Yeah.
There we go.
So
Yeah.
if you get the most amount of points, you basically win the
Okay, so that's wonderful. So this is the chart that they have to use the robots on.
Yes.
Okay, now okay, so but we've jumped a bit ahead. Now the thing is, you talked about this different stages. Now, when the team is being comprised, the school picks a team.
Right.
Right, and then they enter the competition as a school.
Right.
At what point do the coaches come in? Because you're not actually a teacher at the school.
No.
So we need to clarify this. So the actual competition needs
You
a
have
coach.
to have at least 2 coaches
Two
or
coaches.
mentors.
Okay.
Hold on.
We have to basically define exactly how many times the team will meet, what are our goals, and practice for each part of the competition.
Okay.
Because like I mentioned, there's the robotics part.
That's just one part of
That's
it,
just
right?
one part of
Yes.
it. The second part is the project, like I mentioned.
Yes.
So how they're going to research, facilitating their visits, because they have to go and meet experts, they have to do their research online, they have to, so I think the kids will talk more about it.
Yeah.
So, and then also the core values like how team building activities. So every, session we need to cater for all of these things.
Right, amazing. But very quickly, I just want to move back to the chart as well. So Mustafa, tell me, I can see pandas over here. I can see families having fun in there on this chart paper. I can see somebody
fish,
at the sea as well. So what type of missions does our robots have to actually perform where you guys are going to, score a win?
Well, as we discussed earlier, there is a theme every year.
Yeah.
So this year's theme was Animal Allies, and so the Lego Corporation, they designed missions according to this theme. For example, we had a mission where we had to transport an animal safely. That was the Shark Tank. Essen, can you? Yeah. Let's just.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it was like this. We had to this was like our base where we could touch the robot. Besides that, we would get a penalty. So we had to transport the shark to either of these boxes safely without it moving.
Okay.
Without moving.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, so now when you go, so Essen, tell us, working as a team, coming up with these ideas, how was it for you? Like, how did you guys work? Because, like, everyone has different ideas. So what was the experience like for you?
So everyone had different roles. Okay, so we combined our different skill sets and we accomplished our tasks.
Okay, excellent.
It was a fun experience.
Yeah.
And also challenging as well.
And what are the other rules which are involved within this game as well, or within this challenge? For example, you cannot touch your robot. You get a penalty, right? Yeah. Other than that, what else can you do, and what are the things which you cannot do?
Well, you have to program the robot to complete the mission.
Yourself?
Yourself.
All right.
Using software. So you can't use a remote to control the robot.
No.
That's illegal.
Then?
You program it in, right?
And then it does it all
proper robotics.
by it itself.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, so you guys can fold this up and show us the robot, which is going to probably transport our animals from one place to a safer place. I think that's what the core reason is. So we do have a robot right under our
I know, they're
table.
struggling to fold
And
it.
our producer is just like our mother, because he keeps on telling us again
The
and
same
again.
thing again and again.
And we heard him the first time, but since we cannot tell him that we heard you, so he keeps on saying that. That's where it is. That's where it is. Okay,
We're all
we
in school
know it
today.
now.
We're all
all
in
right,
school.
take a chill pill, guy. So that's what it is. I mean, amazing that is. So these charts are actually given to you by the Lego people?
Yes.
Or the people who are actually...
And you get to, okay, so tell me, let me ask you, Emma, do you get to practice on this? So while you're creating your devices and your robots, do you have the map with you?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Basically, we have to purchase it from the Lego.
Okay.
That's why I
from
said
Lego.
it's a great marketing skill as well.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's what they're
Okay.
doing. So you guys made it out of a Lego yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's get Emma to tell us about this.
So this is the brick of the robot that is used to control the robot. It is connected to a servo motor.
Okay.
Then two large motors that are used to move the robot forward like this.
And
then
for all us non-robotic specialists, where do you
Non-robotic
program?
specialists.
Where do you program in the instructions?
Brick.
Into the brick.
well, we use a cable to transfer the programs that are already programmed in the computer to the robot.
Okay.
And then we start the mission from.
And then once you press start, it all depends on to the robot whether he's going to take
I
the
feel like Essen has something to say.
animal to the other point or not. No,
Yeah, you can say something. It's okay. You have something to say?
Well, we make the robot out of Lego Mindstorms EV3, and there's a specific application to construct programs, and there are different blocks which you can put together in order to perform a series of tasks.
Okay.
All right, but I want to talk about the design of the robot as well. Who came up with this design? Because other than that, whenever we think about transport facility, it's usually a four-wheel facility as well. So this robot over here is a two-wheeler, and it's just two wheels.
Three-wheeler.
So where's the third one?
It's a small ball there.
All right, so it's the small ball over there as well. So it's a
What Emma
three-wheeler.
told us.
So who came up with this design that this is how our robot needs to be?
Well, I was the robot design specialist in the
All
team,
right.
so I designed the robot. To complete the mission, there's a small medium motor here,
All right.
right? And we used it to, and we attached, and we made various attachments to complete the missions,
Okay.
right? So this is one attachment. We used it for the shark transport mission.
All right.
Okay.
And what do we have over here? What is this?
That's the trophy we won.
Okay, that's a trophy you guys won.
That's-
So even the trophy is actually being made by a Lego as well.
If you can
It's
reach.
far away. Yeah. Oh, I can reach it. All right. Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the
amazing.
trophy. FLL. That's what it is. So if you guys
You're a
can zoom in,
You're a
but
winner, Shazad.
you know my cameraman I think is resting on his seat. Okay, if you can stand up. Thank you very much. You are at work.
What a Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, so we also have images as well that we're going to be sharing with you about this. Here we go. This is
Exactly,
their win.
and we do have some other projects which,
Oh, they look so happy.
which are
That's
here
great.
in the studio as well. I think what we need to do right now is
They're giggling.
Yeah,
okay, but
they're
I want to ask,
happy.
listen. Yeah, so as we mentioned in the introduction, with the 88 countries that are taking part. Now, in regards to that, you had 30 schools from here. Now you have 88 countries. What? Because the thing is, we want to leave some questions for the next guests as well.
yes.
But now, when they were winning, when they were taking part in this, as your role as coach, you know, they're very bright kids. They have a very good idea of science and technology, much more than ourselves. So how, you know, what do you feel is the purpose of them getting involved in this?
Well, I think it was an amazing opportunity because the children, there's the STEM concepts, science, engineering, math, and technology. This competition involves all of those and a lot more as well. Because as the children will tell you that once we started with the project, we not only were they building these skills, the programming skills, how to construct a robot, how to make a strategy, because I think they forgot to mention that they just have 2.5 minutes per game, in which they have to complete as much missions. So the time management bit, and also perseverance, because they had to keep at it to perfect and make it as precise as possible. Plus the research skills, because we stumbled upon two internationally recognized, the project topic we chose was snow leopard conservation. So two internationally recognized Pakistani snow leopard conservationists who have won the Whitley Prize, which is the Green Oscar for environment. And they're both Pakistanis. And one of them was teaching at Qaid-e-Azam University and was gracious enough to come over and talk to the kids.
Excellent.
The other one is an Ivy League professor in Connecticut, America. We had a Skype call with him. He connected us to his team in Gilgit. So the children were actually talking to, solving the problem.
Themselves.
Exactly.
Amazing that is. But one last thing which I want to ask before we move on towards the
No,
break.
because I have one after
All right,
you.
you
Then we move on to the
have
break.
another one that's perfect as well, and that is, what is your role as a coach and as a mentor? Because you're not a part of their school team as well. You know, the guys are from, these gentlemen are from preparatory school Islamabad as well. I think we need to mention the name of the school. You guys are making Pakistan proud as well. So let's see, what's your role in it?
I think for me it was important that all the kids were equally participating. No child is, because that is one of our core values, that none of the children should be left on the sidelines. Then deciding as to who has what capabilities. So, and we were following a very democratic process. We were voting on everything. So making sure there's time management, making sure that everybody gets to participate, everybody learns, and the role assignment bit as to their skill set. So, and it's been a fun ride.
Amazing.
I've really enjoyed it.
Excellent. And actually, we are going to go for a short break, so I'm going to ask my question to the next batch of people that we have here. But thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. And thank you and congratulations once again for making it. And you're going to Europe, right? Excellent.
have
We're going to
fun.
ask the next team as well.
Don't get lost,
But
all right?
don't go just yet. We have to go for a short break. So, guys, we are talking about the first Lego League Challenge, which is the yearly international robotics competition in Pakistan. And we do have a team with us who have made it to one of the finals. They're going to the Europe leg of it. And an American leg, and there's different legs, so we're going to come find out about that. Let's go for a short break, and when you come back, we're going to have another team with us.
Because we've got some more material to share. That's what it is. Let's go for a break. Good morning.
The largest cultural activity in Pakistan is the annual National Folk Festival, Lok Mela, held in Islamabad in October each year. Over the past 2 decades, this festival has taken on an international flavor, and more than 20 different countries have sent their artisans and performers to participate in the festival. Nationally, the festival has become a thing of pride for artisans and performers who come on their own to participate. Most important of all, the provinces of Pakistan
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for everybody who just got tuned into PT World. You watching World this morning alongside Shazad and Ma. Today we have got young kids over here in the studios who are actually going to go compete.
They're winners.
And they're going to go to Denmark, and then they're going to compete in the first Lego League Championship as well, which is a challenging stuff. There are 3 parts of the competition, where the first one is actually a robotic competition. The second one is a project where they see a problem within the world, and then they come up with a solution. And the third one is the values as well. I think we're moving on to the second phase, but right now Ma has to probably ask something from a member of the team who's a very important one indeed.
Exactly, and we also have to introduce the new guests
Yeah.
as well. So we have now been joined by Miss Hadia Ashraf. She is a coach, and she's also the director of academics at the preparatory
School, Islamabad.
Can't get the word out. Assalamualaikum. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
The school is not the easiest name, preparatory school.
Preparatory.
Yeah, preparatory. Anyway, and besides Miss Hadia Ashraf, we've been joined by Mr. Taha Athar Awan. Assalamualaikum. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Besides Taha, we've still got Mustafa here with us. He doesn't have a mic. Besides Mustafa, we have been joined by Mr. Syed Abdullah Shah. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you for joining us.
How are you?
I'm fine.
That's great.
Yeah, they look so happy. Great.
Yeah,
Okay, so Miss Hadia, I'd like to ask you first, just before we jump onto the next phase, because you know these kids have won and they are going to Denmark, as Shazad's mentioned. But because you're part of academics and you're a coach, when it comes to schoolwork, because a lot of parents, that's their concern. Is this part of the curriculum? We've kind of clarified that already initially. Or like, how do the kids manage it with their schoolwork? How is it done?
After school, we used to stay back and have sessions with the children to coach them as to, and we used to give them a guideline and a time frame that this is what you have to achieve for today, and that's how we used to go with it.
Okay, great.
Oh, amazing. But what Maha was trying to ask over here, or the information she was trying to get out was that are these curricular activities, or these are like extracurricular activities?
These are co-curricular activities. We are trying to instill this in our curriculum. Moving forward from August, our new academic year, inshallah.
Okay, great.
And other than STEM, STEM education is science, technology, engineering, and math. But we've added another A to this, which is art.
Okay,
and that's the part the children will show to you.
Let me just very quickly move on to Abdullah over here. So Abdullah, how did you become a part of this team?
I became part of this team by, as Ahmed mentioned that Ma'am Hadi just barged into our class and said that
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, go ahead.
That there's going to be a competition called the FLL. So does anyone want to volunteer? So Ahmed, Taha, Mustafa, Hussain, and I raised our hands and said that we will participate in it.
Can I say something here? Yeah. Actually, the science teacher, and I'm the science coordinator at school. We looked at, they have a very, very good base for science. It comes naturally to these children, which is why the teachers actually selected them, and I reconfirmed with their parents if it's okay, because this is time away from the academics after school. So are they ready? Are the parents ready to cooperate with us?
Okay, wonderful.
And given that
And did you already knew about FLL?
No.
No.
Okay, so I want to ask Taha, how have you liked this experience?
Yes, I really liked it because I learned lots of new skills like programming, like programming basic, like building Lego. My skills were perfected, and many other things.
Excellent. And one thing I'd just like to highlight, these kids are extremely well spoken, and you guys need to relax. You're doing a great job, so there's no pressure. You're in our living room, so you're fine. But now, what do we have in front of us? I'm going to, who's going to tell us about this?
You're going to tell us, and then
Mustafa is
going to present
Yes.
what's in there. Okay, go ahead. So you start speaking, Mustafa. You stand up and let us know what's inside the box.
Okay, yes.
And tell us about your project as well first.
Okay, so our problems basically which we identified was that these corrals, these corrals are enclosures where the farmers in the northern areas keep their goats safe from the predators.
Okay.
So we designed this corral so that it could we could make it better.
Okay.
It's better designed and it can hold off a snow leopard. Our problem was that snow leopards break into these and they eat the farmers' goats. The farmers, in retaliation, they kill the snow leopards.
And that's why we have a problem.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
that's
you
what
found the solution.
And then what happens within this box? Okay, so what's the solution?
So tell us the solution.
Our solution
And stop playing with your metal as well. Yeah, it's all right.
Our solution over here is that there is a sonar sensor which will detect any movement near the door.
Okay.
Alright.
Now, when the snow leopard enters the corral, the sonar sensor, it will detect the motion and it will sound an alarm, which is our primary plan, and it will scare the snow leopard away. That if that does not work, we have another plan.
Oh, yeah,
What's
we have a
that?
plan.
Because the
Plan
cat,
B.
because the cat family is they chase the laser beams. We designed that the laser beams.
Stop checking each other. Leave each other alone. Okay. Yes, Taha, continue.
We use the laser beams to guide the snow leopard out. So.
All right.
Wow, that's so clever. So
And
basically,
eventually, if still the snow leopard makes it to the goats of the farmer, do we have a plan C over here?
Yeah.
All right.
wait, what?
The alarm can also wake up the farmers.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you've got multiple plans all in action all
So
at
plan
once.
C is still to kill the leopard. That's what it is.
Basically capture
No, it's
it.
not. Yeah.
Yes,
Basically capture it and like not preserve it. We can just keep it in a zoo so we can get food and it won't die.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay, they have a disagreement. Mustafa and Abdullah disagree. You know, that's fine. You release it
Brilliant.
into the wild because they deserve to be free. But anyway, so this is great. They've got such a good idea. Now, this is the second year you guys have done this, and this year they've made it to Denmark. Congratulations!
Thank
It's a
you.
really amazing, situation.
Yeah,
Shazad.
and do tell us about the other schools and the other teams which are participating, for example, in America as well, or somebody, you know, there are teams going to, in fact, you guys are going to Europe, somebody else is going to America. Who's going to America? Which school is that?
EMS.
I
It's
think
EMS.
EMS, yes.
EMS. What does EMS stands for? Okay, so it's a
I
school name,
elementary
ladies and
one.
gentlemen, and we really need to appreciate their work
I
as
think
well.
the name was Roots Ivy Capra, I think.
All right.
No,
okay, so
quite a
that's
few
great.
schools are going from Islam.
Okay, that's good.
Also
Okay, it doesn't
from
matter, guys.
Pakistan.
It doesn't matter. Yes.
There are quite a few schools. that are
Okay.
going.
Shazad,
We are concentrating on our own, you
No,
know.
no, no.
Our mission is to...
No, it's not
Yeah.
irrelevant because of the fact that we really need to highlight and project all of those kids who are actually working hard and are going to present the soft image of Pakistan as well. So, you know, it's not just PSI. There are 2-3 other schools as well, and teams are going from there as well, and it's the same FLL because it's happening in different regions of the world. So that's why I think it was very important to mention.
Okay, exactly. No, that's great. Now, when they go to Europe, what will the coaches be going with them?
Yes, the coaches will be going.
Okay, and how are the parents feeling about this? Like about the kids going to
They are
Europe?
very, very excited.
Okay.
Our parents are very excited because this is the first time ever that our school has been given this opportunity to compete internationally
Okay.
in a
And
competition.
when are you
with-
guys going?
Inshallah, at the end of May.
Oh, wow, so soon. That's amazing. And also, in regards to you guys, as a school, you funded this up until a certain
Till
point.
the nationals, the school has funded it completely.
Okay, wonderful.
I have been, you know, we've been providing them whatever, we
Okay.
facilitated their
Okay,
whole
and
thing,
so and then, but the next stage, because it's only the second year, the parents will now take these. Okay, okay, great. Now going forward, just final question because we really run out of time. What would you like to, you know, what is your long-term aim with this program?
My long-term aim would be, you see, I do not want to restrict children to learning from books.
Okay.
When they learn through project work and you know, hands-on activities, it's integration of all subject areas.
Absolutely.
This is what we are trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve learning through action, not just through textual knowledge.
Amazing.
Because then you can't apply the knowledge. Application of knowledge is more important.
Absolutely, and we've seen all
Yeah.
these like kids like apply everything that they've
So it's
learned.
like even a vocational training institute, you know, your school's doing
Absolutely.
a great job as well. And for all those parents who are out there, you know, thank you very much for, you know, giving us such amazing youngsters of Pakistan as well. And,
And
they're going
supporting
to make us
them
proud,
in this.
inshallah.
And best of luck, but we've actually run out of time. So I would like to say best of luck for the end of May. Good luck,
all the
guys.
luck.
You guys, good luck with your competition. Do
Do
well.
you guys want to say anything?
Yeah?
Anybody?
Taha, would you like to say something?
Just pray for us.
All right, we
Oh,
will.
it's so cute.
What about you, Abdullah?
Same as Taha.
All right, so we've already started praying. Inshallah,
And
you
we
guys
will.
will
You guys
succeed.
will do great. And best of luck.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being here today. It's been an absolute pleasure. So now we're going to do our fruit of the day very quickly. And today we have picked up on Shazad.
Cherries.
So let's take a look at the benefits of cherries. So
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it improves kidney and liver health, and then it improves heart health as well.
and it is full of antioxidants, and it also is another inflammatory.
Anti-inflammatory, and then reduces
Yes,
cholesterol, improves immunity.
And it is great for, if you have arthritis, it's good for that. And also if you do not want to age badly, then it's also very good for that.
And then it's full of vitamin A as well, and it eases digestion.
And they also taste really good.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that cherries are going to be in season soon. right?
Yeah, I mean, cherry on top, that's what it is. I think with that, we really need to wrap up the
Yes.
show as well. So ladies and gentlemen, do not forget to write to us on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of,
Well, this morning.
on Twitter,
Without
on
a
Daily Motion and YouTube.
Well, this morning.
And the fabulous repeat is going to be at.
11:05
So
p.m.
the next time, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourself. 1, 2, 3. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Thank you.